So Roh Khanna, who is another progressive lawmaker from California, he's also Justice Democrat. He was in the news today talking about Joe Biden, right? So let me read you a bit of this article. Let's take a look at what he had to say. This is from CBS News, okay? So Congressman Roh Khanna says Joe Biden will be the bridge to a progressive future. Okay, so Congressman Roh Khanna is known for his progressive politics and served as co-chair of Senator Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign. However, he has now fully thrown his support behind former Vice President Joe Biden, the presumptive Democratic nominee, and says that a Biden presidency would be far preferable to 4 more years of Trump. Well, that's highly debatable. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't think Joe Biden is going to lead us to the next progressive era. I think he's going to be the bridge. What? Khanna said he was enthusiastic about preventing Mr. Trump from winning a second term in office and added that it should be a clear choice for progressives who they should vote for in November. I think you should vote for Corn Pop. So Roh Khanna said you can get Joe Biden, who can stop the damage and be a bridge, and then we can get a progressive future after that. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a steaming pile of horse manure. That sounds like incrementalist bullshit. It does. It's exactly what it is. This is no different from Joe Biden's wife sitting there and telling you, listen, I know you're dying because you're doing Medicare for all, because we don't represent working class people, but I want you to swallow. I want you to swallow and vote for Joe Biden. This is the same kind of rhetoric right here. He's saying, look, Joe Biden isn't a progressive, but you should still vote for him because, you know, maybe one day, like in 2,000 years, we'll finally have a progressive era. Okay? Thank you very much. No, the fuck you don't, you trick ass bitch. No. What is this? Is this not mind boggling for people that this guy was a co-chair on Bernie Sanders' campaign and now within 2-3 weeks, he's throwing all of his support behind Joe Biden? What? And then you have Jeff Weaver and Chuck Rocha and all these other snakes that are running Bernie Sanders' campaign, running to form a super PAC for Joe Biden. And then, of course, Bernard himself telling you to vote for the rapist war criminal. What the fuck is going on here? And AOC, right? AOC going and doing a fucking PR tour. She's on The View, and then she's on I don't give a fuck. She's going around telling people that you have to vote for Biden. And make up your fucking minds. Do you stand behind the policies that you were advocating and campaigning for, or do you not? It's really a simple question. You either really believe in that shit, or you fucking don't. Because anyone who does believe in Medicare for all, who truly believes in universal health care, anyone who really believes in a Green New Deal, cannot back Joe Biden. This is ridiculous. This is like a firefighter vouching for a fucking arsonist. What are you doing? The policies are diametrically opposed. They are in conflict. Do you understand? They're in complete opposition to each other. They're incompatible. What are you doing? You might as well vouch for Trump then, since Trump is also opposed to all of the progressive shit. I mean, why Biden? Why not Trump? While you're at it, why don't you just go and vote for fucking Trump? This is going to drive me nuts. What is going on here? There's something up. Did Roh Khanna also sign a fucking loyalty pledge? Did AOC sign a loyalty pledge? Jeff Weaver, the snake, Chuck Rocha, all of them, they signed a loyalty pledge? Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out. These are team players. These are little poodles. These are Nancy Pelosi's poodles, okay? She lines them up. She whips them into shape. And they go, yes, Mama Bear. And do whatever the fuck she tells them. Yes. This is bullshit. This is a guy vouching for a fucking war criminal. Hello, reality check. Come back down to fucking earth. Before Donald Trump ever even aspired to run for president, before Trump ever even opened his fucking mouth about running for president, okay? Joe Biden was fucking over young black males with the crime bill. Joe Biden was pushing for war in Iraq in 1998, and then he made up the lies about the WMDs, and he helped Bush in 2003. Okay, Joe Biden sexually assaulted Tara Reade and sexually harassed other women. Joe Biden tried to cut Social Security. He did all of these things before Trump ever even uttered a single word about running for president. So this has nothing to do with Trump. This is horseshit. This is a distraction. This incrementalist horseshit. Once again, all the time. Oh yeah, maybe, if we do this, and maybe you got to vote for. Fuck off. Give us the policy or get the fuck out. Roh Khanna also said he was satisfied with Biden's response to allegations of sexual assault against him by a former Senate staffer, Tara Reade. He said he had come to this conclusion after listening to interviews with Reade and hearing Biden's vehement denials. Khanna also called for full transparency in releasing all documents related to Reade's allegation and said that the public would make the final decision based on the availability of all information. Khanna argued that Biden's sense of decency would make him a strong challenger to Mr. Trump. Ultimately, it's about his sense of decency, his sense of American character. What the fuck is that? How can you, in the same paragraph, talk about decency regarding a guy accused of sexual assault? Have you lost your fucking mind? That word has no more meaning anymore when you use it in this context. What fucking decency? I just went through the guy's record. He's responsible for 1 million deaths in Iraq. He's responsible for countless lives ruined by the crime bill. How is this guy decent? That word has no more meaning anymore when you use it for people like Joe Biden. Do you see what's going on? It's not that these progressives are telling you like, oh, listen, he's the nominee. We have no choice. You got to vote for him. No. They go even further. They try to whitewash his entire record and convince you that he is somehow not a fucking rapist and not a war criminal and not someone who jailed black people and not someone who worked with segregationists. Like they're trying to whitewash his entire fucking record. Do you see what's going on here? This is insanity. No, it's not the public that should make that final decision. Joe Biden should be under a fucking FBI investigation. Okay? It's not Morning fucking Joe or whatever piece of shit on mainstream media that is going to debunk this entire issue. Okay? Because every time evidence comes out, it's in favor of Tara Reade. It corroborates her story. Joe Biden and his staffers and his campaign and his entire fucking crew have been lying and openly trying to character assassinate Tara Reade. That's decent? Get the fuck out of here, man. Khanna says this is a sobering reminder of how much we're still dependent on physical labor. Yes. The frontline workers, the essential workers. And it says he advocated for protecting these workers and paying them more. Well, then why aren't you paying them more? The frontline workers, the doctors, the ambulance drivers, the cooks, everybody who's keeping the country running, why aren't you rushing to give them a raise? Why are you wasting a fucking single breath praising Joe Biden and campaigning for this demented fucking war criminal? Look, he says, if we're so dependent on these workers, how do we make sure that they're protected? How do we make sure they get paid more? I think this country needs to have that conversation about the dignity of labor. No, listen, I don't want your platitudes about a conversation. It's not a fucking debate. They need hazard pay. They need fucking equipment. Move your fucking ass, all of you. I cannot believe that you are wasting time giving a fucking interview instead of writing up a bill that gets them that money yesterday. Now, another point that I want to make about Roh Khanna, which, I mean, blows my fucking mind. I'm really struggling to understand this. This guy says he's a progressive, right? He's part of the Justice Democrats, who now take super PAC money, by the way. He was against U.S. involvement in the war in Yemen, right? He wanted to cut support for Saudi Arabia with their genocide in Yemen. So on Twitter, there's a very interesting post that he made. I want to show it to you. Look what he says. If you are wondering who benefits from endless wars, take a look at how stocks for weapons manufacturers begin to rise as soon as Soleimani was killed. Defense contractors spent $84 million lobbying Congress last year, and it certainly wasn't to promote diplomacy and restraint. So what do we have here? Raytheon, their stock going up. Lockheed Martin, Northrop. He makes an excellent point. It's true. Of course their stocks go up. Of course their profits go up when there's war. They're weapons manufacturers. Now, can someone please explain to me why his wife owns stocks in these exact fucking same companies? Can someone please explain that shit to me? Look at this. So this is from Sludge. So Representative Khanna's wife, Ritu Khanna, owns as much as $376,000 in defense stocks. Khanna told Sludge in an email that he and his wife maintain independent finances and file taxes separately. Quote, I have not personally invested in any defense stocks, Khanna said. I will continue to fight for a progressive foreign policy for this country rooted in diplomacy and regional dialogue. That's why I have consistently voted against bloated defense spending and sought accountability from some of our nation's largest defense contractors. Stocks are owned by the representatives, their spouses, or jointly. So this says Roh Khanna, but what they mean is Ritu Khanna, his wife. Okay, look where she owns stocks. Boeing, Honeywell, Huntington Ingalls, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, and United Technologies. What the fuck? What is going on here? Am I losing my mind? Is this an episode of The Twilight Zone? How is this guy progressive and he's railing against wars and calling out these weapons manufacturers, and his wife owns stocks in those exact same companies? And not just one defense manufacturer. No. Madame Khanna has a very diverse portfolio held by, of course. Naturally held by. Naturally. Why would you invest in one defense manufacturer? Invest in all of them. How the fuck does this make sense? What is this? Why the fuck is she allowed to own stocks at all? No one in Congress or their family should be allowed to own stocks. Regardless, I don't care if it's a fucking candy manufacturer or Raytheon. None. You're here to serve. You're not here to make money. You wanted to be elected, right? You wanted to be an elected representative. Okay, so now you're elected. Now go represent. What is going on here? How is this okay? This is not okay. I don't care what he says that, oh, we file our taxes. No, motherfucker. This is a conflict of interest and hypocritical to say the least. What the fuck? Did he marry a neocon or something? Am I missing something? I don't understand. Does he have like some fundamental disagreement with his wife? It's possible. I don't know. Maybe she loves war and he doesn't. I couldn't find a single comment talking about his wife owning stocks in those exact same companies. And by the way, the only way that I found out about this, it wasn't publicized. Someone left a comment somewhere. I can't remember where it was. I was like, what? This is a troll. And I Googled it and I was like, oh my God, it's true. This is akin to Jane Sanders owning stocks in Big Pharma. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders is out there, advocating for Medicare for all. What the fuck? After all, we did see that they were ready to take money from Tom Steyer and other billionaires, so I wouldn't be that surprised. You see why the word progressive doesn't have any fucking meaning anymore? What a joke. What a joke. Not to mention that Roh Khanna and Ayanna Pressley, they voted to condemn the BDS movement. And I think I saw Roh Khanna being asked about this, about his vote on the BDS movement, on Humanist Report, on Mike Figueredo's show. And Roh Khanna gave some bullshit answer. By the way, huge shout out to Humanist Report, to Mike Figueredo. I love you, man. You fucking rock. Seriously. I'm a huge fan. Roh Khanna, his vote on the BDS movement. What the fuck is that, man? What is that? You know what's really crazy? It's like, it's not just a vote against Palestinians. It's also a vote against your First Amendment. Where's your freedom of speech? Aren't you covered by freedom of speech, by the First Amendment, to protest, to boycott, whatever you like? So why do you have members of Congress, progressives no less, voting to condemn people boycotting an apartheid state? How the fuck does that make sense? This is a bullshit justification. I don't accept that. This defending Joe Biden? No. fuck off with that bullshit. And I love how diverse his wife's portfolio is. Very smart. Very smart. And, of course, voting against the BDS movement, fucking over Palestinians. Come on, man. The word progressive doesn't mean shit anymore. And like I said in my previous video, this is absolutely insane that you have to guess where each progressive member stands on foreign policy. This is unacceptable. This is ridiculous. This is bullshit. And everything else. Like they all told you, oh, I'm a co-chair for Bernie's campaign. This one is a senior advisor. They all told you, oh, we support Medicare for all. We support Green New Deal. And then as soon as Bernie drops out, whoop, we're going with Joe Biden, who doesn't support a single fucking one of the policies we've been spending a year fighting for. What? How the fuck did you support those policies then? You're full of shit. Fuck off out of here, man.